Yeah, let's start by one by one. One by one. Right. Tell you whatever. We're just talking about.
Yo, face. Show your face, please. With sugar on top.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all know my slogan. I don't know it all, but I know what I've been through. Now, before we get into this video, make sure you check us out on Patreon at www.patreon.com/Hookah Anonymous _. You guys been telling us to create one for the longest, so we recently created a community where we will upload videos that we can't share on YouTube due to their guidelines. We'll also be dropping the latest to there first, behind the scenes information that you wouldn't find anywhere else on our socials. So make sure you become a member, and after you do that, head over to our official Instagram page at Hookah Anonymous _ and follow us there. Now without further ado, let's get into what you guys came here to see. Now, here we go with more snitch allegations, as this time it's looking like it's directed at Kodak Black, who recently been accused of telling a detective a little too much during an investigation or interrogation. Now all of this will be revealed after 1804 JackBoy, who was once signed to Little Durk's label Sniper Gang but now beefs with him, would take to his IG story and release never before seen footage. However, Wack100, who seems to be the snitch police and either have paperwork on every rapper that is suspected of snitching or knows about paperwork relating to someone snitching, responded to the allegations and basically shut it down with paperwork posted by No Jumper stating that Kodak didn't tell on nobody except for himself. However, the reason why everyone was side-eyeing Kodak in the first place is because JackBoy chose to use an interesting part of the video to play. In the part that he posted to his IG story, you can hear Kodak telling the officer, "I'll tell you whatever." And it also seemed like he uttered a name or something, but I'll let y'all be the judge. Now I can't lie, that does sound crazy. If I heard someone say, "I'll tell you whatever" during an interrogation, basically it seems exactly how it sounds, right? Technically, whenever you're talking to law enforcement of any form, if you're being questioned about a crime, you're supposed to tell them you would like to speak with your attorney. Simple. And your attorney will also advise that you do that, because even if you're not saying much or you think you're only saying something to help yourself out, as they say, anything you say or do can be used against you in the court of law. And sometimes you could say something that you think is harmless and nothing until you get in the courtroom, only to realize it incriminated you in whatever way. So with that being said, according to the document revealed as of yesterday, they're saying that Kodak did admit to the crime he was accused of. However, he only told law enforcement the role he played in it and nobody else. But then again, whether he told on anybody or not, if he admitted to his role in the crime, doesn't mean that a crime was committed regardless. Right? So if he's admitting to his role, doesn't that mean his co-defendants committed some form of crime as well? I don't know. I could be wrong, but we're going to get into the video so I can see what y'all think and then get into what Wack100 had to say about the whole situation. Now before the video, here's brief context as to why he was even in the interrogation room in 2015. Now in October 2015, Kodak was arrested for robbery, battery, false imprisonment, weed possession, and driving on a suspended license. According to the police report, Kodak assaulted and forced multiple people to get in his car in response to a break-in that occurred at his house. Kodak ultimately pleaded no contest to the charges by August of 2016. It was sentenced to 1 year of house arrest along with 5 years probation. However, JackBoy released the footage taken from the interrogation room. I don't know how he got it, but he posted it to his IG story, alluding that Kodak was willing to snitch on others. Y'all check this out.
The reason why I probably look like the guy got the club my tattoos and cool, but it's just image I'm portraying for my music. I make music, but ain't no bad in me. This why I just put it, you know, it's just, anyways, I ain't do none of that. I ain't do none of that.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
Let's start
by one by one. One by one.
Right.
Tell you whatever.
We're just talking about the kids right now. To be fair to you, tell me about the burglary and what happened. This is official.
It's helping me in any way. No, I don't think it's helping me.
Listen,
I'm telling you everything, regardless.
Listen to me.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to tell you right now.
Yeah.
Okay, you're not gonna go home. That I'm being real with you. Okay, I'm not. What's your homeboy's street name? Or
Pico.
rap name? Huh?
Pico.
Pico?
Yeah, he ain't no rap.
In Spanish?
Nah, he black.
Now, once again, saying I'll tell you whatever does sound crazy, but it seemed like he's the only person that was charged for the crime, so to be honest, who else would he tell on? Unless police felt that it was other people involved and they knew it, but he just wasn't telling. But once again, if he's the only one being charged within that case, I don't know who else he would be telling on if he didn't give the people up. Now, y'all know no ratting accusations is gonna get past Wack100, and he chimed in on the situation, putting in his 2 cents about JackBoy, stating that Kodak didn't snitch. He will post paperwork that we'll get into after, but he captioned it saying, quote, "The exposes fundings, hashtag not guilty, at 1804 JackBoy, you released audio with at Kodak Black, speaking and edited to him saying names. But the paperwork says hashtag Kodak owned the charges and never said anybody helped him with this. This is not hashtag snitching." Now, Wack is alleging that Kodak never mentioned names and instead, JackBoy edited audio to make it seem that way. Now, if he did in fact edit that, that's a different level of petty. Like, he going to different loads to make sure he destroyed Kodak's character. But here's the thing, right? Who's really gonna go that far to edit names into an interrogation video and make it seem like someone snitched if they really didn't? Who really had the time to do that? But then on the flip side, maybe he did, maybe he didn't, but here's what the paperwork had to say, as it would say, quote, "On the above date and time, the deputies responded to 3448 Northwest 15th Avenue in reference to a kidnapping. Deputies met with victim Juan, who positively identified the defendant, Didnt Snitch, via show-up as the person who kidnapped and blanked him. A sworn tape statement was taken from Juan in reference to the facts of the case. He stated that the defendant chased after him, punched him several times, and then blanked him into a blue Audi against his will. Juan suffered lacerations, blank to his face, hips, and legs. While deputies were on scene, several other juveniles approached and stated that the defendant and another person took them against their will. I spoke with Calvin. He stated that he was approached by the defendant and was told that if he didn't get in the car and show him who broke into his house, then he would blank him. Calvin said out of fear he went into the defendant's vehicle. The defendant without lawful authority did forcibly, by blank or secretly confine, abduct, imprison, or restrain Calvin, a child under the age of 13 years, without the consent of said child's parent or legal guardian. The defendant without lawful authority did forcibly, by blank or secretly confine, abduct, imprison, or restrain Marvin against his will by intimidating and threatening to harm him if he didn't cooperate with his demands. Emily stated that she was physically grabbed and forced into the vehicle against her will by the unidentified suspect, but she identified the defendant as the driver of the vehicle. She said that she was told to take out their cell phones and turn them over. She said she took her phone out of her pocket and gave them to the unidentified suspect as he requested because she was afraid if she didn't, that he would physically blank her. Mark stated that he was intimidated to get into the vehicle by the defendant by stating that if he didn't get in and help look for Juan, that he would be continued. 2 witnesses stated that they observed the defendant blank Juan, and then they saw the defendant push Juan into the blue Audi and take off. The witnesses gave sworn tape statements. The defendant's mother gave a statement stating that she told her son to call the police in reference to the burglary and not take it in his own hands. She said that she observed the defendant punch Juan in the face and then she walked away. The defendant was positively identified by a show-up and photo line-ups from all victims. Sworn tape statements were taken in reference to the facts of the case. Search incident to arrest revealed the defendant was in possession of marijuana, which was field tested positive by Deputy Barbosa, and after a check of his Florida driver's license, it showed that it has been suspended since 07/21/15, and the defendant was only in possession of a Florida ID card. The defendant was placed into an interview room, and he spontaneously uttered several statements saying that, "I know I effed up, and I shouldn't have taken matters into my own hands." He also stated that he punched Juan in the face. Post Miranda, the defendant admitted to blank Juan several times. He stated that he knows what he did was wrong. The defendant added that he put Juan in the vehicle, but that the others got in when he asked him to. The defendant stated that he doesn't know the name of his friend who was in the vehicle with him. So looking at the paperwork, it does seem like police believe Kodak didn't act alone and it was more people involved. However, they weren't able to charge them because they don't even know who it was. And according to the paperwork, they asked about the people or the person that was there, but Kodak didn't say his name. He said basically he didn't know him, but he was a friend. So However, I guess the audio JackBoy got, he's saying that he did offer information, but Wack is saying that it was edited because the paperwork says that Kodak admitted to his guilt in it and admitted to punching Juan and actually kidnapping him, but it was just him. He don't know who the other guy was. Y'all jump in the comments, let me know what y'all think about that. How do y'all feel? Do you feel Kodak Black told? Or maybe he didn't. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And remember, as long as you keep on watching, I'ma keep on dropping. I'm out.